And welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, April 27th, 2017. Trading stocks is a high level of risk, and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Hi everybody, hope you've had a good week so far. Sue here from Chart of the Day Cafe. Let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index, and for that we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. We look at the Russell and we want to make sure that before we put any charts forward, the Russell is trending higher. I want to keep these videos short, so I just choose one index, and that's the Russell. And we always want to make sure before we put a new name forward for our watch list, we're putting it forward in a rising market environment. I like the monthly charts because I like to refer the candles one to the other. I think that gives you a really great perspective. We've been keeping an eye on this area up here. This light blue line is our long-term area of support, but we're paying attention to this area right here, right now. And we had this little wedge pattern trend line drawn in here. I'm going to take it away because it's a bit cluttery right now. And I'm going to put in a new trend line. So here we are so far for the month of April. Bullish candles shaping up so far, March, February, January, but what I want you to see is that we might possibly be in an area of resistance. So I'm doing it the other way now, and I'm showing you this area. So let's get into the 1 year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving in this area. We're coming up, not quite there yet, but I think that we might be in an area where some softness may come into this market. Who knows? We'll see, but I'm keeping an eye on it here for sure. So that's the weekly look. Let's take a look at the daily. Price is up and over that 8-day EMA. We had a bit of a wick form at the end of the day yesterday, so keep an eye on this trend line here, and that perhaps we're getting some softness coming in. I'll be paying attention to that today for sure. And so with price on the Russell up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart and that uptrend continuing, we're going to put a new name forward for our watch list this morning, and the new name is Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this company. They are a huge pharmaceutical company operating in the US. So you know at Chart of the Day Cafe, it is all about value, and Pfizer has an excellent value score, nice and high. Second thing we look for is growth, and Pfizer has a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 19%, a current PE of 14.91, and a dividend yield of 3.78%. The two things that are must for me are value and growth. A dividend is icing on the cake, and in this case it's there. So with that, let's take a look at the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly. You can see overall beautiful uptrend, but we're interested in this area that it's in right here, right now. So I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1 year weekly because I want you to see the area that we're in right here, right now. There we go. Healthcare has been looking particularly perky these days. Pfizer, this is the 1 year weekly chart. Looks as though it might want to be breaking out of this wedge. They're coming up on earnings next week. You want to be aware of that. But it looks poised to move higher, so we're going to add it to our watch list and keep an eye on it. That's the 1 year look. Let's take a look at the 3-month. There we go. Trying to move out and over our trend line. Do we have a 3 and 8 cross yet? Yeah, just let's take a look at it on the... Oh, so close, ever so close. Not quite yet, but like the look of this chart. And with those scores, it's one to keep an eye on. Along with our new watch list pick, we like to take a look at the sector that it's in. And so for that, we're looking at XLV, which is the ETF that represents the healthcare sector. Looking at the 5-year monthly chart, like Pfizer, overall uptrend on the 5-year, but been trading sideways for a very long time. Looks as though it might want to break out here though. We're looking at the monthly chart, so here we are in an area where should price strength continue, this would be a breakout area for healthcare. Let's take a look at it on the 1 year weekly so we get better see. We took a look at this chart last week for ABBV. when it hadn't had this strong candle this week, and sure enough it broke out and price is up and over the 8-day on the weekly. So this looks like an interesting sector for sure. As well, we like to take a look at seasonality for our new watch list pick, and for that we go to equityclock.com. Great site, love it, can't say enough about it. And here is the seasonal chart for Pfizer. You can see that in this period, April-May, it comes into a period of seasonal strength. So like to see that. Also going to include this article with today's video, 3 dividend stocks that prove boring is beautiful. This is a Motley Fool article, came out recently. Worth reading if you're interested in Pfizer. Also, took a look at FinViz this morning, wanted to see some analyst upgrades, but don't see anything that is recent enough. We've got initiated, but we don't see an upgrade quite yet, so I'm not going to check that box. But there are some other interesting articles here on Pfizer as well that might be worth checking out. And so to summarize, let's go back and check our boxes. We looked at the market overall, the IWM, and we can see that it is in an uptrend with price up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart. We looked at the sector that Pfizer is in. We can see that XLV, the healthcare sector, is in a 5-year uptrend. Been trading sideways for a number of years, but in an area where it may want to break out. Overhead resistance, we would call that sky is blue because there is none should it break out from this area. Pfizer chart, we looked at it, it's in a 5-year uptrend and at an area of possible lift. It's got an excellent value score. These two are highlighted because they're absolute must for me at Chart of the Day Cafe. It's got an excellent growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 19% going forward. Current dividend yield of 3.78%. Does not have a 3 and 8 EMA cross, but it is oh so close. So this is not checked. Seasonality in its favor, yes. Analyst support not checked because we want to see an upgrade. Current PE is 14.91, and be aware they've got earnings coming up on May 2nd. As a reminder, I just wanted to say, if you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button on our homepage, become a subscriber. It'd be great to see our viewer base go up. With that, I'll leave you. Have a great weekend, and we'll put our next video out next Tuesday.